It's nice to meet you. I'm going to read relatively quickly and get through some poems. This one is called Self-Portrait in Art Class.
Okay.
Say you're one of those people who absolutely can wake up and facsimile marginalization, the sound of your voice duetting the syllabus, carrying its books home from school. You've been born, no problem. You accumulate within reason the history of your finite body, your smudged slides, even presidents potentially felled at your feet in words, treated to this single life, the days you skipped, still brand new, in the vows of the departed, whose tongues flowed through you, their bandaged thoughts prized over whatever your drudgery illuminates. Old hymns of summer, summer's emerald piano tinkling, at curtains closing, though the sky won't hear it. The bees, cast from their homes, bob through the summer fair, while, with sitting mud on your feet, you say a few unwashed words to your supporting cast. Is this beginning, again and again, but more determined now, before your transfer is canceled, which might explain the broken window, the gun in your eye. Seduced by the front. So it's not worth the brick necklace. The world breaks itself before all else, like we do, our skins constantly switching tense. One says, you still look great. The sun is still rising. The weather is perfect. Even in shorts, you look great. But no one looks great in shorts. And toxic runoff isn't a metaphor seeping into our reservoirs. We're aware how the senses dry up, how images rearrange. At least we get to sometimes enjoy the body, the throb of blood that doesn't know where to go. In the Times, the story is pictorial. An RPG has hit a hospital, and we are shown a boy tangled in bed springs, bones, a generator, feathers, a leaf. What the mind settles on is what's most vocal. The air is perfectly happy to hold what you'd like. Presence, when it grows mist. Locality smothered by sky's itinerant tumors. Today I sit on the patio, face the umbrella straight, and through the phone acquire a little perspective, the shape of northern weather. As I dredge a lost knife from the sud's top sink, even without seeing, I can expect the shape of the obscured space in front of me, however predictably startled by its shifted contents I might be. Joyce is dead, and overhead, an avocado tree litters the deck with seeds, which eventually sift through its boards onto a concrete underbed, never seen as they husk in their invisible earthish mounds. Hallie. We both sat there talking, or not talking, but rising without precedent. Early in the day, we met the tiniest donkeys, driving through towns that seemed to crawl from the corners of a childhood book your mother set aside until you turned 28 and finally threw away. What came next became an improvisation, trading walleye and crop talk as the sun scooped out Earth's lowest pastures. Soon enough, night's shadow box slumped against us, so we trucked our ice-coated offerings back to the city for a home-cooked meal. We both sat there talking, or not talking, steering rutted graveled byways with amnesia's seldom unlatched door, quivering and peeked open like a kindred setting deeper in the hush. I'm going to read one last poem called First Date, which is slightly longer than the first ones. First Date. As such, pages go loaded into a town car where it is legal to drink thin alleyways twilight peace with the cat out of the sword and a little Halfrow's good deeds done by the one who sentenced her. In the bathroom, extinct journals protect secrets while their TVs crudely altercate driven snow. Archie Bunker plot gets forced, murders a cup in handcuffs with pastor's glance, and, invading, the government orders 68,000 new windows, but the city might care over shuttered educational buildings. More like half-controlled, various sirens feast on sweets, Condemned curfews brutalized to move beyond their points, driving apart the breakers of rage objects, punks in the LA entertainment apparatus, a history of fineness. Emphasis, the little man, with his own make in Florida bracelets. Sick children turned to the top 40 while they knocked down a museum but not the statue built inside it. Pristine, incongruous class dematerialized inasmuch because children's leftovers get divided. 4 sports and some peripheral clubs in asbestos. Now, fake action. Now, same circle of few large numbers radiating now, but not yet, with their enemy growing helicopter lights to alleviate growing hurricane pressures. You and me lapping outwards. Like it seemed some point had been reached, a radio drama briefly broadcasting God's death via moonbeam, unspeakably crumpled and giving birth in bird language. Meanwhile, declarative confetti shits through dead letter twigs, 2 vivid conclusions, consequently red sex, who cares past the hour, knocking blasts in the dark tundra-tanked households you and I could shoot lives in, our devices growing scary Tyrannosaurus safe words, pre-verbal tributes thrust into the concentration of the night's decoration. And now, a new book dully pulls spectators to recite its name while its characters die in no other place except 1950s living rooms. Large money's yahoos rendered in beach towns with burnt bums and the knowledge of break-ins fragmenting mercenary coups and moons and spoons. I think there's a whole thing out there, Mr. Narrative. Place it anywhere. No longer. Talisman knows Arc's negative romp-bound binaries to the grill plate. If a simple music has to be done by rule, then examples can't help but connote, causing a cancer that causes the encompassing matter to drop little aphrodisiac drips, deadly by comparison, into the past's extremely quarried think race. Really, we'll lose sequence by the boatloads. Then, forget how we got here. Freely falling from the toilet seat, the cycle sparked anew on dirty linoleum, like spiritual placebo away. Earlier made-up promises keeping the neighbors at bay with an occasional postcard and some hot chicken soup. Because no secret country exists in our fried nether regions. Even if we lock away the wedded aliens, the jury will still spray its colors on the state-controlled pavement, or worse. No way, Jose. Per body, per bracket, there will be no modification of terms to the sunrise direction of your mansion life. All the chapters poised on the pedal, on the day the story wouldn't deign drown off. But Kremlin save us. I couldn't care less. I'll wander a real living through the unobtainable explosion alone.